Out of the storage unit, and today's we're gonna actually be like another behind the scenes type of deal, is because a lot of times, even on this channel, we only show you what's selling, but there's so much more to this, and I don't want people to get into reselling and think, oh, you just go to a yard sale, you list it, and then you ship it, and that's the end of it. That's kind of it, but once you scale up to, you know, a lot of items, you have to do things that are a little bit different. And what we're gonna do today is basically, because we don't have a place at the house, I mean, we're still having boxes in our bathroom basically because we just don't have the room, and today we have listed all of this stuff right here. Everything right here has been listed over the last couple of days. We have to go in and custom SKU it, which takes a while, but we can't again find a better way to do it. Now some of this stuff we don't custom SKU, like this goes on the tool shelf, the golf clubs obviously go on the golf club shelves and they're already custom SKU'd. The rest of those would have to be put inside those bins, so it's much easier to find when we're ready, you know, when it sells. Then we have other stuff up there, and I'll show you what we do with the stuff that isn't listed, but we also have to get it out of the house. So right here, I want to bring up this Blue Point battery charger, and Blue Point's the same thing as Snap-on, and it was actually, my neighbor knows what we do for a living and sell stuff on eBay. In the beginning, we didn't tell anybody just because one, we didn't think anybody would really care, and two, we never thought like people would be like, hey, I got this, and you know, I'll give you a good deal, you can sell it on eBay, make some money. And we just never thought people would actually be contacting us to get stuff out of their house for cheap prices because they don't want to sell it on eBay. To sell on eBay is kind of difficult. You know, I got to ship this thing. It weighs like 40 pounds, but it goes brand new for like $460. And he was like, hey, I'll give you a good deal on it. I paid like 250 bucks for it. I know it seems high, but there is a 0 listed, all sold, and the actual used ones in not good condition go for $350 plus $60 shipping. So I have this thing listed for $400. All I had to do is walk across the street and give him some money. I'll put it on eBay. Now again, you gotta pay taxes and fees and all that stuff. But I'll still walk away with minimum work of $100. I'll probably have less than an hour in the shipping, packing, buying, and listing. Less than an hour, and I made $100. That ain't too bad. The moral of the story is tell everybody what you do, because you just never know what they have or what they're willing to sell you, where you can actually put it on eBay and make some money. All right, we are in the second storage unit, not the one that houses all of the stuff that we have for sale. This is the stuff that we have for the booth and for seasonal things, for like on whatnot, and then also some eBay stuff that isn't listed. Now this is probably not the most, I wouldn't say popular or something, because everybody talks about, oh, they have so much to list and death piles and everything like that. Having an over amount of that stuff, I agree. You probably shouldn't have thousands and thousands and thousands of things that aren't listed that are just sitting there, then you're going out and buying more. I do agree with that. But we did learn that it's very important to have at least something to list if you can't find anything good. So right now is our buying season. It's absolutely like crazy with yard sales. We're out there Fridays and Saturdays all day long buying stuff. But the thing is that dries up around here in South Carolina. Around super hot months and super cold months, nobody does that. Then our main thing is hustling thrift stores and then also storage units. The thing is a lot of times you don't find a whole bunch in the thrift store and you don't find a whole lot in storage units sometimes, and then that takes a lot of time. That's why our goal is to actually fill all of these up with things that are not listed but are in good condition, where we can go ahead and just list them on eBay when we have nothing to list. Because some days, you know, you might not find a lot, and for two people listing 20 to 30 items a day, you know, in a 5-day period, that's 100. No, you ain't got no lots. That's 100 things that have to be listed in a week, and if you can't go to the thrift store and get 100 items, you know, your sales will drop. So our goal through the yard sale season is to make sure that all of these right here are completely full, and today that's what this stuff is. We're just throwing it in there, and then we do the box method. I know I've mentioned this before, is we put this stuff in here, and then when we have nothing to list, we come over, grab a box, and there's usually 20 items in one of these boxes, and we'll list it, and then boom, good to go. At the storage unit, we got some sales to go over. We're now in the storage unit. If you didn't know, if you just been start watching this channel, because we actually did have a big influx of subscribers, so thank you so much for being here. We have 2 storage units that we operate out of real quick, because I know we don't go over a whole bunch of the operation. We just kind of stand here and say this sold for $10. We have this storage unit right here that is all listed merchandise. There's nothing in this area right here that is not listed. So all these items are listed. We do have about 1,600 items on eBay listed at all times, right? Sometimes we'll get up to 2,000, sometimes as low as 1,400, all depending on how much we're selling, what we're buying, and everything like that. Now, some of these items in here, honestly, probably need to be gone through to make sure that they're still on eBay. And also some of this stuff in here probably needs to be pulled out because we have not done a full inventory check since I started 5 years ago, correct? We haven't gone through all of our inventory. Now, we have gone through quite a bit of it, but some of this stuff could probably be taken off of eBay and redonated or maybe sold on a different platform. So, but there is 1,600 items in here that are for sale listed on eBay. The one I was just in is kind of like our holding facility, right? That's the one that is full of the bins where we actually put stuff to hold to put on eBay or to hold to put on our Whatnot show or actually through the booth. We also have a different intake system now because before when we got the bugs story, we would take everything into the house and then go through it there. That no longer happens. Everything stays in the garage and make sure everything is clean and prepped and then it is stored in different places. So that's basically how we do it there. And also we have 2 rooms in our house that we work out of and a bathroom. Like I said out there, our guest bathroom still has boxes in it that we use, right? That's where you have a box pile in your room and then there's a box pile also because we ain't got the room. And then I see a lot of people that, you know.
That reminds me, we need bubble wrap.
We need bubble wrap, see? Because we out of it in the bathtub. We ain't got no bubble wrap in our bathtub. And I see a lot of people that like go out and you do need space as you grow, but also be careful of what you do and don't step into a whole bunch of debt trying to get there. Don't spend a ton of money, you know, because you can work and sell on eBay in a very small area. My dad, real soon, I'm actually going to interview on this channel because he's retired and they have a smaller space, right? And they do really well on eBay. So if you maximize your space, you don't need a ton of room. I see a lot of people buying big barns and stuff, which is good if you're growing, but you can't afford it. Kind of heed back on that. And you just need certain little places to do stuff. If you have a little bit of room, you can sell little items. If you have a little bit of room, I wouldn't sell 2,000 golf clubs. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't get into, maybe you only pick up golf clubs that are worth $70 and above and make sure they're good golf clubs that sell quickly. So we're going to get into a whole bunch of that in future videos and everything, but we are going to interview Dad real soon and he's going to talk about his retirement, what he does in retirement now, how he sells on eBay, and his setup. So I think everybody will enjoy that. Now, moving on, we do have some sales. 30 bucks for this right there. That is a Bearcat NASCAR scanner, and we actually just sold another one for $45 that had the longer antenna. We did sell some spoons right here for $15. No, actually $5 on this and $10 on this little guy right here. $15 for this apple baker. And then also the same person who I believe is a viewer bought, I think it was Holly, bought this for $15. We'll combine shipping there. We also got a message through our website from you, and we will message you back. If you have any questions about stuff, we're getting a lot of questions on eBay, and we really can't redirect you to the website on eBay. It's against their policy. It will suspend our eBay account, and we still make most of our money on eBay, so we can't do anything that will jeopardize that. But we do have a website, thebeardedthriftmachine.com. There's 2 ways to message us through that. The actual message way that you get, right? And then I get emails. The thing is that, I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't check my emails as much as I should. The best way to get in touch with us is through the messages to you.
Messaging.
The messaging, yep. So there's a little tab or something that says messaging. It's not an actual email. It goes straight to the website. Then you read all the messages on the website. And this is basically to, not so much to ask us questions, or you can if you want to, but to tell us if you saw something on the Bearded Thrift Machine channel and you want to buy it, or pot charms, or questions about merch or anything like that. So
and if they have questions for you, I always go to you and say, hey, you have a question, and then you answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can still ask questions on there, but
absolutely.
A lot of people are using that vessel for like hey, I saw this, how much for this, and then we post it, and then she actually then sends you a link directly to that item on our website. It's like very streamlined. Now we cut as much deals as we can on there, but still you got to remember it's how we make our money, right?
Yeah.
So we got to make some money on some stuff. I know some people are like, that's a little high. It's like, well, it is what it is. I mean, we do our best to cut the best deals we can, but always remember this is still how 2 people pay all their bills is through sales and through the camera. So we do appreciate all the support on that. We are going to talk about a couple things real fast that's never happened to us, and I brought it up to you the other day. I was looking on our seller hub, and on the left, I think there's been a lot of people on YouTube talking about this, but not this very specific problem, is that one, USPS is not scanning in our stuff. Now, we do not have next day shipping. I know a lot of people do because you're top rating, you get 10% off. That's awesome, and we probably should. But we do 2-day shipping. So if it doesn't get scanned in right away, because we always ship the next day, we have like a day buffer there that really helps out with the USPS not scanning items. So if they don't scan it the first place, usually they'll scan it the next place, then that buffer kind of helps us out. We learned that from 2020 Christmas and 2021 Christmas. We almost got knocked down to well below like the threshold there when it comes top rated seller, because nothing was getting scanned in. Not a thing was getting scanned in. And then they actually did really well. Now we're going back into like nothing is getting scanned in. So that's what we did. We just upped that, and you shouldn't have to up the shipping, because if you think about it, the USPS is costing us 10% of the final value fees on eBay. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna like fight the USPS? It ain't gonna work. We just try to do a streamlined way of just dropping our stuff off and then having a buffer time between that. I know that's not optimal, and a lot of people are like, you're losing money. You can't fight the post office.
Right.
Like you really are at their discretion and disposal of what happens to your packages. So we try not to make any waves. We just try to say, where can we put this little package at? And then they say, put it right there. We're like, yes, okay. And then the next day they say, put it right there. And then the next day they say, throw it across there. You know what I'm saying? So we just try to do the best we can with them and not make waves at our local post office. But one thing I haven't heard on the internet yet, and I actually heard it, well, I did the other day, it was another instance, we use Pirate Ship. And the reason why we use Pirate Ship is that we put all the shipping costs on a credit card and obviously pay it off right away, and we do get a certain percentage back from this credit card on our business. So we do about $30,000 to $35,000 in shipping cost per year. So even a small percentage of that ain't too shabby when it comes to then spending that money on a business expense. So that's how we use it. The thing is just recently I did notice on eBay at the little bottom where nothing was scanned in on 2 separate items or 3 separate items. 2 items. It said it was never scanned, and no, it said that it was never generated. The item was never generated a label. Well, it was, because the person actually received it. So we went back in and tried to upload the tracking number. The tracking number said the tracking number was being used by another seller and could not upload it. So there's like a big glitch there between Pirate Ship, and this has never happened to us, Pirate Ship and eBay, that they're like the tracking numbers aren't talking to one another, or it's not uploading to eBay. I did hear Tim the other day also from the Reselling Network have the same problem, and we don't have an answer for it. We haven't called eBay yet, honestly. We haven't had the time. And we're out of time and we ain't got no lights.
You need to call your light bill.
Call my light bill. And we haven't had the time to actually call eBay, sit down and talk to them, because usually that's an hour conversation, sitting on hold, talking to people. We, as you can tell right now, we ain't got the time. We're busy. This is our busy season. I think every season is our busy season, now that I think about it. Anyway, so if you've had that happen to you using Pirate Ship and that going on eBay, tell us down below if it's happened, and also, more importantly, if you fixed it.
Yeah,
like how you fixed it, because we have no idea. So we'll eventually have to call eBay and probably do a follow-up here, but that's not happening next week, because we don't have time to sit on the phone for an hour. We have like a ton of stuff to get done, content to do, and everything. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and wrap this stuff up and ship it out, but hopefully that's a little insight on how we actually do this entire operation. Again, any questions, tell us down below, and be on the lookout for the interview with Dad coming real soon.